Hey, Autumn Athletes, Larry Sorensen here, and today we are going to look into the difference between aerobic and anaerobic exercise. Before we do, remember if you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, and ding that bell for notifications. And don't forget to visit automathletesndy.com for all of your NDY merch and apparel. Let's start with an important definition that will be necessary for you to understand before we can continue on with our discussion. ATP. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. It is the primary energy carrier in all living cells, powering nearly every process that keeps you alive, including muscle contraction, nerve impulse transmission, cell division, protein synthesis, and active transport, moving substances across all cell membranes. ATP is a molecule made up of adenine, ribose, and 3 phosphate groups. Now that you have an idea of what ATP is, we can continue on with our discussion. But before we dig into the actual comparison between aerobic and anaerobic, we should also understand what the words mean. Let's begin with aerobic. The word aerobic literally means with oxygen. During aerobic exercise, the body uses oxygen to generate ATP through the aerobic metabolic pathway, which is efficient for sustaining activities like jogging, dancing, and swimming. Aerobic activities increase the heart rate and breathing to deliver more oxygen-rich blood to the muscles. The muscles use that oxygen along with glucose and/or fat to produce ATP. This is the body's way of providing energy for moderate to long-duration steady-state activities. So what does anaerobic mean? Well, as you may have guessed, it literally means without oxygen. During anaerobic exercise, the body uses stored ATP quickly, and then if the intense activity continues beyond a few seconds, it relies on glycolysis, or the breakdown of glucose, to quickly produce more ATP. Since this happens without oxygen, it produces a byproduct called lactic acid, which leads to muscle fatigue. You know, when the piano is strapped to your back at the 300 mark of the quarter mile. Let's visit a couple of quick notes regarding lactic acid. Lactic acid itself does not cause muscle soreness. The burn you feel is from the buildup of acid H ions, not lactate. So what happens to lactate in the body? Well, it can be converted back to pyruvate and used for energy, travel to the liver and be converted to glucose, and/or used by the heart and brain as an energy source. Kind of a lactic acid summary, I'll say this. The body produces lactic acid, or lactate, when it breaks down glucose anaerobically, especially during high-intensity exercise when oxygen is limited. This helps continue ATP production, but it does build up quickly, leading to fatigue and muscle burn. So let's get to the comparison of aerobic versus anaerobic. Aerobic exercise uses mainly oxygen along with glucose and/or fat to produce ATP for energy over long time periods during moderate level intensity exercise. Anaerobic exercise uses stored ATP for quick bursts of energy. If the intense exercise persists, the body begins a process of breaking down glucose to produce more ATP very rapidly. When this process occurs, a byproduct called lactic acid builds up, causing muscle fatigue. Aerobic exercise improves your cardiovascular fitness, strengthens your heart and lungs, and aids in fat loss. Anaerobic exercise increases muscle strength and power, builds lean muscle mass, improves speed and explosion, enhances bone density, boosts metabolism, and improves tolerance to lactic acid buildup. So, which one is better than the other? The shorter answer is, depends. One may be better for you given your specific goals, but both provide great health benefits. Perhaps a combination of both would provide the best overall health and fitness results. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and maybe tell us your favorite type of workout. Remember, keep moving, set your own goals, train hard to achieve them. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you next time.